Gunners, what if I told you that one of the biggest transfer stories of the summer is far from over? Just when many supporters believed Arsenal had moved on from Julian Alvarez. If you love Arsenal as much as we do, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's dive straight into today's massive Arsenal news. Come on, you Gunners. A stunning new update has emerged that could completely change the club's transfer plans. The dream isn't dead. In fact, the door is still open, and that should get every Arsenal fan excited. Reports now suggest that Arsenal have not ruled out a move for the Argentine superstar. The interest remains genuine, but completing this blockbuster transfer will depend on what happens in the rest of the summer window. This isn't a simple transfer anymore. It's becoming a high-stakes game of strategy, finances, and perfect timing. Every decision Arsenal make from this point forward could determine whether Julian Alvarez ends up wearing the famous red and white shirt at the Emirates. Behind the scenes, the club are carefully assessing every possible scenario. Can they afford another marquee signing? Will player sales create enough room in the budget? Could another transfer unlock the funds needed to launch a serious move? Those are the questions Arsenal's decision makers are trying to answer right now. One thing is becoming increasingly clear. Arsenal still admire Julian Alvarez immensely. His work rate is exceptional. His movement is among the best in world football. He can score goals, create chances, press relentlessly, and play across multiple attacking positions. Those qualities fit Mikel Arteta's tactical system almost perfectly. It's easy to understand why Arsenal have refused to completely walk away from the possibility of signing him. But here's where this story takes a dramatic twist. The biggest obstacle isn't convincing the player. It isn't competition from rival clubs. It's Arsenal's transfer strategy itself. The Gunners are balancing several major deals at the same time, and every move they make could have a direct impact on whether Alvarez becomes a realistic target. So, is Arsenal preparing for one of the biggest transfer surprises of the summer? Or will another blockbuster signing force the club to abandon the pursuit once and for all? Stay with us, because the latest developments reveal a fascinating transfer puzzle. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why Julian Alvarez remains one of Arsenal's most intriguing possibilities this summer. Now let's talk about the biggest reason why this transfer has become so complicated. According to the latest reports, Arsenal's chances of signing Julian Alvarez depend heavily on what happens with two other blockbuster transfer pursuits, Vinícius Júnior and Bruno Guimarães. Yes, Gunners, everything is connected. This isn't a case of Arsenal simply picking up the phone and making an offer for Alvarez. The club first needs to know how much financial flexibility they will have before committing to another massive deal. If Arsenal succeed in signing one of their priority targets, it could significantly reduce the funds available for Alvarez. On the other hand, if those deals become impossible or collapse during negotiations, Arsenal could redirect their attention and resources toward the Argentine forward. That's why the door remains open. The club haven't ended their interest. Instead, they are waiting for the right moment to make a final decision. This is the reality of modern football. Every major signing affects the next. Transfer fees, player wages, bonuses, financial regulations, everything has to be carefully balanced before a club can complete multiple world-class signings in the same transfer window. Arsenal know they cannot afford costly mistakes. After building one of the strongest squads in Europe, every new arrival must improve the team immediately. There is no room for panic buying. There is no room for unnecessary spending. Every dollar must be invested wisely. And that's exactly why the club are taking a patient approach with Julian Alvarez. Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal recruitment team understand just how important this summer could be. Their ambition is clear. They want a squad capable of winning the Premier League. They want a team strong enough to challenge for the UEFA Champions League. And they want players who can make the difference in the biggest matches. Julian Alvarez certainly fits that profile, but the final decision could depend on how the rest of Arsenal's transfer window unfolds. The coming days and weeks could change everything, and one unexpected breakthrough or one failed negotiation may completely reshape Arsenal's plans. And Gunners, that's where this story becomes even more interesting. So why are Arsenal so determined to keep the possibility of signing Julian Alvarez alive? The answer is simple. Mikel Arteta believes modern football is no longer just about having a striker who scores goals. He wants forwards who can press relentlessly, create chances, link up with teammates and adapt to different tactical systems during a match. And that's exactly what makes Julian Alvarez such a special player. The Argentine international is one of the most complete attackers in world football. He can play as a traditional number 9, he can operate as a second striker, he can play just behind the main forward, he can even move out to the wings when the tactical situation demands it. That kind of versatility is priceless. Imagine Arsenal lining up against a team defending with a low block. Alvarez can drop deeper to create space for his teammates. Now imagine Arsenal facing a side that likes to dominate possession. His relentless pressing can force mistakes high up the pitch and turn defence into attack within seconds. Those qualities are exactly what Arteta looks for when building his squad. It's not just about talent, it's about intelligence, it's about work ethic, it's about making the players around you better. Julian Alvarez has already shown he can perform on the biggest stages. He has played in title races, he has competed in the Champions League, he has delivered in crucial matches under immense pressure. That experience is something Arsenal value enormously as they continue chasing major trophies. Adding a player with that winning mentality could give the Gunners another edge in the biggest moments of the season. But despite all those positives, signing a player of Alvarez's quality will never be straightforward. There are financial challenges, there is competition for elite players, and Arsenal must make sure every major investment fits into their long-term project. That is why the club continue to assess every possible scenario before making their next move. One decision could shape the entire transfer window. And what Arsenal choose to do next may surprise football fans across Europe. So could an unexpected twist bring Julian Alvarez to the Emirates after all? The latest developments suggest this story is far from over. As exciting as this story is, Arsenal know that making a move for Julian Alvarez will require perfect timing. This is no ordinary transfer. It's the kind of deal that could define an entire summer window. The Arsenal board, Mikel Arteta, and the recruitment team are carefully monitoring every development before making their next move. Why? Because rushing into a decision could have serious consequences. The club have worked hard to build a squad capable of competing with Europe's elite, and every signing must strengthen the team without disrupting the club's long-term financial plans. That's why patience has become Arsenal's biggest weapon. If the opportunity presents itself at the right price and under the right conditions, the Gunners could be ready to act. But if the financial demands become too great, Arsenal may be forced to focus on other priorities. This is the delicate balancing act taking place behind the scenes. Supporters often see only the headlines. Arsenal interested, player linked, talks ongoing. But in reality, every transfer involves weeks of planning, negotiations, financial analysis, and strategic discussions. That's exactly what's happening with Julian Alvarez. The admiration has never been in doubt. The challenge is making the numbers work while ensuring Arsenal remain competitive in every other area of the squad. For Arteta, this isn't just about signing another forward, it's about adding a player who can elevate the entire team, a player who can deliver in the Premier League, a player who can make the difference on Champions League nights, a player who embraces pressure instead of fearing it. Julian Alvarez has built a reputation for doing exactly that throughout his career, and that's why Arsenal continue to keep a close eye on his situation. The next phase of the transfer window could be decisive. If Arsenal create enough financial flexibility through other moves, the possibility of pursuing Alvarez could become much more realistic. If not, the club may have to postpone their dream and look elsewhere. One thing is certain, this transfer saga is still alive. And with every passing day, the tension continues to grow. But Gunners, the biggest twist in this story, may still be waiting around the corner. And what happens next could leave the football world completely stunned.